theater appreciators and well-wishers alike. For this is Friday, June 25th, 2021. I am James, you are you, and we are here for a very, very special, and I cannot stress those words enough, very special edition, episode, installment, iteration of At Home with James live on Twitch. Why is it special? Because this is the opening as well as the closing night for the first and last At Home Fringe Festival. Are you out there surfing the information superhighway wondering what is a Fringe Festival? Well, it is a coming together of artists of all sorts, kinds, types, experience levels, and of course, lack thereof, who put their merit to the test and present alternative and experimental theater. This is something that we have been putting into the works for 2 months. It has been going on behind the scenes, all of the employees of this show working feverishly to help curate what will be one of the most important nights in Montreal theater in 2021. Now, before we do that, a couple of things that we would like to acknowledge. First and foremost, congratulations to the Montreal Canadiens for punching their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since 1993. This festival would not be possible without that win. Why? What's the correlation? Well, had they lost last night, I would have canceled tonight's show out of sadness. It's also important that we give a special shout out to this festival's main sponsor, Wildcat Beer. Pop the top, take a sip, and let your claws come out. Wildcat Beer, quench your thirst. All night, every night. Now, we've had a lot of submissions to this festival. There was a lottery. There was the early bird. I kid you not when I say that we had over 75 submissions. Are you asking, where was the submission form? Just like the phone number for Open Phone Line Monday, it was hidden in the dark depths of the internet. But 75 lucky souls found it and applied. Given the nature that this show is only an hour and at times an hour and change long, only 2 spots in this festival were available. That's right. 73 acts were unable to make the cut. We would like to thank you for your submissions and encourage you to apply next year, if there were a next year. But the 2 acts that we've got will most certainly tickle your curiosity as it pertains to art in ways presented as such that you would have never imagined or conceived. Before we do this, we must bring in our one and only jury member. At the end of the night, this person will dictate and decree who walks away with the At Home Zest of the Fringe Award, the award given out to the act that most exemplifies what it means to be on the fringe. Let's welcome Dimitri Kyres. Dimitri, welcome to tonight's festivities. Right, well, just like any festival, there's some hiccups along the way. Now, Dimitri, in addition to being tonight's grand marshal, so to speak, as our jury member, he is also the technical director for not only this show, but both of our acts tonight. Now, in the moment that I had indicated that it's time for Dimitri to get on screen, one of our acts had a last minute change. Because the thing about some of these fringe artists are, well, they don't really know a lot about theater, and they often give cues that are so incredibly late and close to showtime, forcing the technicians to have to reconfigure everything that they had preset. While many fringe artists are experienced and understanding of the plight of the tech, there are some that just don't, get it. And I'd like to think that if I were an artist in this Fringe Festival, he would have had all of my tech cues days ago, because I like to be prepared. Now, some people might say, well, James, you say that, but of course your show doesn't really start on time. Well, maybe that's just the way it is, right? We've tried to start this show on time many times, but maybe that's just not the identity, right? And isn't that the essence of the Fringe, is being able to identify what it means to understand your own personality, your own je ne sais quoi? Well, we're not here to explore my je ne sais quoi tonight. We're here to explore everything that pertains to our artists. Now, before we really get into it, as we start to clear up some of these technical bloopers, blunders, and boners, I also mentioned that I've got an announcement in regards to next week's programming. I'm not going to give the announcement away because I like to ramp a little bit. I like to get things nice and planted so when it blooms, your curiosity is tickled and piqued just as mine is tonight when we see all of these artists that come to us not only from Montreal, but Sweden. That is all happening tonight. Let us check in with our jury member, the one and only Dimitri Kyres. Dimitri, when I say one and only, I mean it. It is up to you to determine who walks away with the zest of the Fringe. How are you doing this evening? It's a very important night in Montreal theater.
Jubilee, 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 James. Honestly, coming from 2 awful years of lackluster theater experiences, and when I say that, I mean absolutely no theater. It is an absolute jubilee to be back in the Great Hall. The Great Hall being where magic happens, that suspended disbelief, that moment the audience is at the edge of their seat and is willing to believe anything. It is an escape to another world, a world that they would gladly spend the rest of their lives in. That, of course, is the theater, James, and we are here to celebrate that this evening.
Well, you could have said it any better. The suspension of all of our viewers will be in disbelief tonight as our performers, artists, hopefully dazzle them to a place of wonder. Dimitri, you are a Fringe artist, just as I am in your own right. You are the recipient of the 2018 Saint-Ambroise Montreal Fringe Festival Award for Best Art Design, an award that I won the following year in 2019. Both of us thanks to the great Brent Skagford. Dimitri, what are you looking for as an award winner? Well, he's not dead. We don't have to do that.
James, when I think of Fringe, I think of out-of-the-box ideas. Go away, Shakespeare. Take a hike. Today, we're going to be doing something different, an homage, perhaps, maybe even a Shakespearean work filled with mer people, underwater folk, a midsummer night that takes place in a bog with the main character as Shrek. I'm not sure. Fringe is about exploring different flavors, kind of like the Harry Potter jelly beans. Sure, we all love chocolate, but maybe I'd like to taste grass. And that's what really the Fringe is all about for me, James.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. What you're saying is that we are in store for a smorgasbord. And when we say smorgasbord, we mean 2 presentations. Now, you said it yourself, what it means to embody the Fringe. Tonight, you will hand out the Zest of the Fringe Award. What are you looking forward to for one of these artists to separate themselves from the pack of the other artists?
Oh, gosh. You know, theater is so subjective. But I disagree. There's good theater and there's bad theater. And it's been 2 years that these artists have had to concoct something truly breathtaking. Jubilee, Jubilee, Jubilee. I want to see it in their voices, in their bodies, and in their souls, writing to jump off the page. We have this medium here of the screen. It's a blessing and a curse. A blessing because anything is possible, and a curse because it'll take that extra filter to get into my eyes and my heart. I'm looking for something to truly dazzle me here, James. And honestly, I'm very excited.
Well, I'm excited too, and there's no time like the present. We are about to see our first play. This one comes to us all the way from Sweden. It is our one and only Scandinavian play. This comes to us from, I wasn't even aware this person was an artist. You might know them for 1, being obsessed with me, and 2, fashioning and making their own underpants. This comes to us from Jodaurgh. This play is called Yoda Does Yoda, which apparently pushes the boundaries of art outside of the box and into a circle. All right?
Amazing. James, I'm salivating. Could we get right into it?
We can get right into it. This submission comes to us via mail, so let's see. Yoda does Yoda at the At Home Fringe Festival.
Hello, thank you for watching this video. This year was hard for me. As you know, I am a doctor, a woman's doctor of emotional support. Just because it's easy for me to know where people are feeling, what they're thinking, and I like to be a kind of therapist. It's not really part of my job, but I do like to do that. So I'm helping with the women's bodies and then also with their spirit and emotional centers and stuff. So anyway, this year was very hard for a lot of us, but especially me, because it was emotionally draining. And so, as clearly I'm such an emotional person, it has been hard for me and for my siblings. I have 3 sisters. We are quintuplet, identical quintuplet. It has been a little bit hard for us because we are, I'm in Sweden, I'm in Stockholm, and then the 2 of them are also here living with me in the basement, and then one is in New Zealand, which is like seeming like they're all having a party now. So anyway, so this is a piece that I wrote about the pain of being stuck in the corner as the eldest of my family, and also as a doctor that cannot be with the patients. It's called Patience. I cannot speak. The words, like in a dream, do not come to me. They simply are breath. I can hear sounds, but I cannot make them. It is terrible. Painful. I do not suffer alone. Hand. Then there's like a little bit of a dance piece, but I couldn't do it here because I'm in the corner. And then I come back to this. It's you! You can't find anything after you're gone. Death is a forgiveness. You see me as your savior. Death is a forgiveness. There are so many things that you cannot change, and I can't change them for you. This is a part where I'm speaking to my sister, True. So we're kind of like, I'm speaking to her, and then she's speaking to me, and it's kind of funny because actually we have the same face, same body, everything. So it's like I'm always anyway. I can't save you. She looks over at me. She puts her hand out. I take it. You knew me all along, didn't you? My sister. This has all been a waste. Everything that I'm trying to do, I'm always trying so hard. And maybe I cannot ever do it. Maybe. No, don't say it. Maybe I'm meant simply to fade away. It can't be. Can it be? Don't say it. Can it be that I am meant for nothing? Death is a forgiveness. So that was like a piece. It's really like a poem that came from a moment when honestly, it's because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was going to make a small short video for the Fringe Festival here in Stockholm, and I had lots of people asking me because I usually do something. Even though as a doctor, people tend to think, your art has to be aligned with your values in But I just think maybe nobody's gonna watch it, so it's okay if I do whatever I want. And I did a lot of things that maybe I regret in front of people. But anyway, I did find that I was trying to write a show based about fruit. It was like lacking a bit in the structure, so I thought I would take a bowl of cherries and tie every cherry, the stem, with my tongue into a knot. It was impossible. I couldn't learn how to do this in time, even though I had all year to do it. And so I thought I would write a poem. This is it. You've seen it dramatized, because that's like how I feel. And you know that it's not easy for me to express something all the time. I have so many feelings, and you know that the more that I feel things, the more I want to share it with somebody in my life. Maybe it will happen when I'm old and grey. I will find a cat who will love me. And cats don't like me yet because I'm not warm and cuddly. But that's not a good reason to ignore someone. Don't like to be ignored. Anyway, that's my art piece. I hope you like it, and then I think that maybe if we get somewhere after this pandemic, maybe we will make art, all of us together, and then I will come out to Canada and I will find myself a small place with some flowers by the door, and the shoes by the door, and a kitchen table for a breakfast nook, and the cat will sleep on my shoulder and I will sleep happily. Good night.
And then it ends, James.
Okay, so that was our first submission to the At Home Fringe. Now, that is one of those shows that leaves you exiting the venue saying, what the hell did I just watch?
Sorry, James. I need a
You're
moment.
moved, right? You're moved. You're moved.
Need
And
a moment.
I thought it was very, very interesting performance. Again, you're not sure where the performance began and the breaking of the fourth wall ended. Kind of an amalgamation of all of them.
I thought I was watching the submission video for the Fringe. Like I am submitting to be in the Fringe and then one day produce a show for said festival. Little did I know, it was a Trojan horse, James, and I was watching the actual Fringe show.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was truly something that, you know, and a good piece of art makes you think, right? I think you and I can agree with this. Your reactions were far more visceral and emotional than mine were. I was, from the perspective of the audience, who were very analytical about my viewing of it. I can tell you're moved by it.
Absolutely moved, James. I had so many feelings of confusion and disturbed, and then a double cross. It is you to playing both characters, to then breaking down and us witnessing the artist. The artist isn't just present here, James. The artist is sitting next to you watching the artist. Yes. When she backed up and started almost critiquing the show herself, was such an incredibly vulnerable and moving experience of truly the artist's process throughout this pandemic year of us over analyzing the theater and art that we make. And that is just what we saw. We saw somebody who was tearing it apart before he was even born. And it was heartbreaking to watch.
You know, I think that right now this might be our front runner in our one of two performances, but that's not all we've got tonight.
Oh my God.
We're about to see our second and final performance of the At Home.
No. There's more?
There's more.
I don't envy whoever has to follow that.
Well, this is our first and of course only live performance tonight. Dimitri, are you ready to hear about this one?
I'm very excited, James, and I don't mean to put down the next act. I'm just saying they have large shoes to fill, but I'm a fan of theater, and I really can't wait for this next one.
Well, this person was the very lucky recipient of an early bird spot in this festival. His name is Marc Rowland. This is not his first rodeo. He's bringing to us a bombastic one-person performance that explores themes of failure, perseverance, and self-love. Here is Marc Rowland with A Blast from the Past.
Okay, here we go.
On va à la fontaine pour y pêcher du poisson, la zigazon zinzon. On va à la fontaine pour y pêcher du poisson, la zigazon zinzon. La fontaine est ronde, je me suis coulé la zigazon zinzon.
Salut tout le monde! Hi! Good to see you! My name is Bonhomme Caramel. Wow! It's so nice to be here. Oh, wait! I'm wearing some snowshoes. Let me take them off. One. Yeah. One snowshoe. I'll put it over here. Oh, et numéro 2. Yeah. Numéro 2. Number 2 snowshoe. Wow. Oh, that's it. Now my feet are free. Mes pieds. I'm really excited today because we're going to explore the outdoors, learn French, and learn to love ourselves. Incredible, yeah? Oh, wait, everyone. I wanted to show you something. I was out fishing today, and I caught myself a couple of poissons, 2 fish. Out in the lake. Wow, they're big. This one, I'm going to cook. I'll put it in the fire right now. Ça sent bon. But this one, I'm going to hang up high in a tree because I've been hearing a bear in the neighborhood. An ours. Scary. I'll hang it in a tree. Un arbre. There it is. Oh, nice. Oh, I hear a noise. Whoa, c'est un corbeau. A crow. C'est Wilfred Pelletier, le corbeau des lettres. The crow of letters, named after Wilfred Pelletier, the famous musician. Oh, he dropped some letters for us to read. Letters from you to me, the children, to Bonhomme Caramel. Wow, I'm excited. Let's sit down and read one of your letters while the fish is cooked in the fire. Lettre numéro 1. This is nice, it's on a scroll. A scroll. This is from Matthew Stafechuk from Kingston, in Ontario. Hi, Bonhomme Caramel. That's me. My name is Matthew and I am 7 years old. Last month, I started going to a new school. Every day I sit by myself at recess. I am embarrassed because I have a birthmark on my face. My doctor says it's called an hemangioma. I'm scared that everyone will think I'm weird and that no one will want to be friends with me. What should I do? From Matthew. Oh boy, Matthew. Okay. Ben, Matthew, what you should do is don't keep your hemangioma a secret. Let it out. You need to learn to love yourself so that others can learn to love you too. And it will happen. Trust me, Bonhomme Caramel. Oh. Sens-tu ça? Ça sent bon. It smells good. The fish is ready. I'll pull it out of the fire and eat it up. Ooh, c'est chaud. It's hot. I eat fish straight like this from the fire. It's good. It's good. It's so nice. But it makes me thirsty. I need to drink. Here we go. I've got something here and oh, that was close. I always keep 2 buckets. One is de l'eau, et l'autre, the other, is urine. You need to keep 2 buckets at your camp at all times, de l'eau and one for your urine, so that animals can't smell you. You dump it far away. So you never want to drink your own urine. It tastes bad. So instead, I drink water, de l'eau. Water. C'est bon. J'aime ça, de l'eau. Oh! Ah! But Bonhomme Caramel, he have a headache. I need to take one of my pilule. A pilule for my headache that hurt. That's better. I'm feeling a little better. Sometime Bonhomme Caramel, he gets a pain in his head. Oh, I think it's time to read letter numéro 2, the second letter. It's time. Let's go. Sit here on the log and read a letter from you, the children, to Bonhomme Caramel. Lettre numéro 2. Oh, this is from Amélie Godbout, from Abitibi-Témiscamingue. Wow, c'est cool. Dear Bonhomme Caramel, I love your show. I even named my new puppy Caramel. When I watch, it always makes me smile. The reason I'm writing, because I am having an hard time feeling happy. Oh no. When I go to bed, I get woken up because I hear my parents yelling at each other. My dad comes home late at night and my mom says that he can't keep staying out all night drinking. She said that he can't live with us anymore. It makes me feel sad. What do I do when I feel this way? From Amélie, from Abitibi-Témiscamingue. Oh my goodness, Amélie. This is a tough situation, of course. I think you need to talk to your parents and tell them how you feel. You need to feel a love for yourself and let that love go out. Share your feelings. Don't keep it in. Oh, hey, oh, there's movement in the grass. Oh my God, there's movement in the grass. What is that? What? Ah, it's down here. Yeah, there it is. Here. Oh, c'est une marmotte. A groundhog. Eh, salut là. Salut. Oh, regarde. Look. What's your name, Monsieur Marmotte? Salut. Mon nom est Steve. Steve? Steve the Marmotte? Ouais, Steve de Laval. But why are you here in my camp, Steve? C'est parce que ça sent bon, là. Ouais, ça sent bon. Je vois un poisson et... Oh, regarde là-bas. Jeanette Renaud. What? Jeanette Renaud, my hero. Oh, there's no Jeanette Renaud there. No, but I got the poisson. No, the marmotte, he got away with my poisson. Oh, I'm so mad. Oh my goodness. There's only one thing to do, I think, and that's to read the last letter from you, the children. Lettre numéro 3. At least I have one more fish ready to cook. The marmotte, he stole my fish. Oh, this is another letter. This is from Amy Howard. Dear Bonhomme Caramel. Oh no. What does that sound? It sounds like a bear. Oh no. I can't let the bear steal my last poisson. I'm going to go fight the bear. There he is. Children, cheer me on. That's right, cheer me on. Okay, I go to fight. Oh no. Oh, I got beat up by the bear. I got beat up by the bear. The bear, and he stole my last poisson. But what's this? C'est une autre lettre. It's another letter that I did not see. This one is different. It's written on different paper. I'll read it to you. Ooh, my spleen. Cher Martin Caramel, my first name. Due to declining viewership and the change in administration, our station has made the difficult decision to end your contract at the end of the season. We hope you understand and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Sincerely, the Ottawa Children's Network Commission. Hein? But this is dated from 2 months ago. Wilfrid Pelletier, qu'est-ce que tu fais là? You dropped this letter 2 months later? Goddess! Oh, hey, c'est Marmotte encore, it's the Marmotte! Hey, c'était vraiment délicieux, votre poisson! You stole my poisson, Marmotte! I kill you! Oh no! I killed the Marmotte. I skinned him alive. I do normally kill, but not for out of rage. Bonhomme Caramel is a monster. No show, no poisson. And I am a murderer. I killed myself. I killed myself on the show. I take des pilules. I take des pilules. I drink urine! Oh no! Oh no! Oh! I drink the urine and I waste all my pills. No suicide for me. Well, children, maybe Bonhomme Caramel, he does one more thing. You read the last letter. Why not? What could I lose? Nothing. Bonhomme Caramel, he had nothing. Dear Bonhomme Caramel, when I was a little kid, I would watch your show all the time. In a younger age, my entire life revolved around hockey. Wow. Getting on the ice. In fact, I was the captain of my team. One day when my dad was driving me to practice, we were in a car crash. C'est triste. I was told I would never be able to play hockey again. Hockey was my entire life. It was taken from me. As I got older, it felt like my life had no purpose. There was times when they wondered, what if I wasn't here anymore? Would anyone ever notice? One day while watching your show, I came across fond memories came rushing back. I was reminded of your positive encouragement. I suddenly felt happy. Not long after, I discovered sledge hockey. At first, it was very difficult, but soon enough, I was gliding down the ice. The reason I am writing is to thank you. You're always there to remind me to love myself. I hope there's a new generation of kids continue to be inspired by you. Merci. And remember to always love yourself. Wow. I forgot. Even with no poisson and no show and being a marmotte murderer, I forgot to love myself. You know what? No more suicide for me. I'm just going to go out and give more encouragement to you, the kids. Merci pour tous les lettres. Merci les enfants. Bonne nuit. Merci. Bonne nuit. Merci.
La fontaine est profonde, je me suis coulé.
Wow! More! Bring it back! James, first reactions.
First reactions, well, you know, there's so much to say. There's so much to say. It's almost like I've seen it before. It's almost like I've experienced it before. It's almost like I've lived it before.
I had that same feeling, James. It felt like it was personal, yet it was fresh and refreshing. It felt like, God, I feel new. I feel like every piece.
You know, it is personal. I think it really is personal. Yes. You know. Yeah,
absolutely. What a great message. What a great performance. What a great use of props. Normally, I'm not a fan, but good God, those were very well made. I'd like to tip my hat to the costume makers, the set makers, everyone behind the scenes. You are seen too, and the show could not happen without you folks. And boy, oh boy, did you shine right there in that.
And how about let's not forget the script writer.
Oh gosh, well, you don't have a show without the words. And good gosh,
you don't have a show with like. You know, when you have a show like that, it's got to be developed the right way. So not only are we talking about set design, how about that what was the name of that main character?
Mr. Caramel, Mr. Bonham Caramel.
Mr. Bonham Caramel. What an interesting idea. Taking a show within a show.
I would love to know what the artist was thinking behind this. Honestly, it's amazing to see how something could be conceived like this. How does this happen?
Now, what if I told you that I could tell you exactly how the artist felt conceiving that show?
Are you a hypnotist named David Blaine?
Oh, I'm better than that. I can do you one better.
Okay.
That show you just saw. That's my show.
Well, come now, James. It's not a good look on you.
What's not a good look?
Jealousy.
Excuse me? Jealousy?
Oh, look, we all work in a vacuum, James. You might have produced a show that might be a little similar.
A little similar?
Have you? I'm not familiar with your work.
You're not familiar? Well, the show that I produced was called...
What year? What Fringe?
It wasn't in the Fringe. It was in the 2016 Solos Festival, and the show was called Le Merveilleux and Marvelous World de Bonhomme Caramel. I wrote that play and I performed it 5 times.
Listen, James, I don't know where you're going with this. I don't know what the point is. We're here celebrating art after a year and a half long
I agree.
Drought. This is what you hit. This is what you're hitting us with. I'd like to keep the vibe up. I'd like to keep
Let's
energy
think about it this
high.
way. Let's think about it this way, right? Let's think about it this way. Shall we?
Sure.
There are many great plays that are written by a playwright that many different casts perform, correct?
Sure, yeah, a remount, as we like to call it.
A remount, right? So I, within the past 10 years, have seen a remount, as you put it, of the play Othello, which is a William Shakespeare piece. But of course...
To be or not to be.
Well, that is not Othello. But that was originally performed many, many, many years ago, but it was performed again, as you put it, a remount. What we just saw was an unauthorized remount of my show.
No. And you say it was in the solo festivals?
It was in the Solos Festival that took place at mainline, and then I remounted my own show
That's
in
quite
September of that year, and it was listed as one of the Montreal Gazette's top theater productions of 2016.
I've never heard of it. And honestly, do you have any proof? Because it's a hell of an accusation.
Yeah, I have proof. I have the show posters.
Well, James, I mean, we could try to settle this. Could we try to bring the artist back? Is the artist still in the theater?
All right. Well, yeah, I think so. You're suggesting we do a bit of a talk back.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I would love to know how this happened, and if there was a bit of a mistake here. Maybe you're just misremembering things.
Yeah, maybe I'm misremembering my show being reperformed, featuring alterations to the show. Frankly,
alterations. Well, anyway, look, I don't want to get into it. I'd love to have the artists defend themselves. I think that's extremely important.
Okay.
I think we need to hear these voices. We need to elevate these voices. So everybody should come back.
It's true.
And we should make sure everybody gets a fair say here because, again, some accusations here. So I'm going to step out.
It's correct.
I'm gonna.
Okay, that's fine. Let's welcome the performer from A Blast from the Past.
Yeah.
It is
Hey guys.
Rowland. Marc, congratulations on opening night as well as
Thank you so much. You guys were great. You guys were awesome.
So, A Blast from the Past,
Yeah.
a bombastic one-person performance
Yeah.
that explores themes of failure, perseverance, and self-love. Now, Marc, just like any good talk about, you want to take me through the inspiration for this play that you put together?
Well, I had all these props in my apartment.
Yeah.
I had all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I'd put something together that I thought would be fun and like I could do in about 15 minutes or so.
15 minutes. Yeah. Now, can you tell me where? How did you come to find all these props?
Oh, I think I picked it up at the theater or something.
Right at Montreal Improv, not to be confused with Montreal Improv.
Yeah. I didn't have anything to do with Montreal.
Yeah, so it was just some props laying around. So there's some furs, some costume pieces, some fish, a couple of marmotte puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just thought, I'm gonna take these props and these costumes. I'm gonna develop a show based around this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was definitely inspired by what I saw from your play. Like I thought it was cool.
Okay, so we're getting to the bottom. You're confirming that these are my props.
Well, I don't remember. I don't know if they're yours specifically.
You just said you were inspired by what you saw in my play.
Well, you had a really nice, story that was set in the country, and there was French involved, and I thought it was really fun. And I thought, okay, I bet you I could do something surrounding those themes.
Right.
And
so when you think you could do something
I think would be an awesome piece. And I would hope that you would be happy with it since I'm doing it from basically.
Yeah, I want you to just before we get into it, I want you to make sure you wrap those scrolls up. A lot of work went into those.
Yeah.
Now you talked about being inspired. Now, when you say inspired, it feels, Marc, like you more or less replicated outside of a couple of very minor changes. You replicated and re-performed my show in a condensed 15 minutes.
Well, I remember you had a really big gun that I had built for the show.
Right. Yeah. You worked on the set design.
Yeah, I built the gun, but I didn't have it. I don't know if it's gone. So I thought, maybe I'll just do pills, Tic Tacs instead.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And you wash them down with the bucket of urine.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, your interpretation was pronouncing it urine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original performance was, you don't want to drink urine.
Yeah, but I think mine was a little more realistic.
Okay, yours was a little bit more realistic. Well, okay. Yours also featured far less French than mine.
No. I brought up Wilfred Pelletier, Corbeau des Lettres.
Okay, so outside of adding a name, mine had more French dialogue, right? You added like poisson, things like that, but But of course, you were working in a condensed 15-minute time period.
I think we'd have to look at the two scripts side by side and do a word count or something.
Oh, so you wrote a script for that? And by wrote, you mean you use my script and made some minor adjustments. You want to look at the two scripts side by side that are virtually the same script.
Yeah, and see, which I think mine might contain a little more French. I think it's perhaps like...
You're saying that your script that was a 15-minute play features more French than my hour-long script?
Well, yeah, in terms of percentages, yeah.
Now, let's talk about the name of the show. My show is aptly named Le Merveilleux and Marvelous World de Bonhomme Caramel. Yours is called A Blast from the Past.
Yes.
You want to talk about the relevance of that name?
It was a bit of a, it was a bit of a tricky title for sure, because it was a misdirect.
It was a misdirect. Yeah, that is accurate. Yeah, it was a misdirect. Now, Marc, rumors were circulating that you were going to do a one-person clown show called Bujo. Can you tell us where did the change occur where you went from doing that show to my show?
It's not, I mean, it's not your show.
Yes, it is.
It's kind of everyone's show.
It's everyone. So you're saying my show is public domain. It's interesting to me that you named it A Blast from the Past, but you kept the character's name the exact same.
I did. Yeah. I did. Okay. I really liked it.
Yeah. So what caused the change from one path of Bujo to another?
Well, that was a Bujo show.
What?
That was a Bujo show. I was playing Bujo, playing Bonhomme Caramel.
Right. So Marc Rowland as Bujo as Bonhomme Caramel.
Yeah, because Bujo is the kind of bouffon that would, like engage in this kind of play.
Yeah, thievery.
Basically.
Thievery.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he would do that. Now.
Right. Okay. Marc, I have a very important question.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed that you played around with the costume a little bit. You wore the scarf around your neck, whereas I wore it around my waist. You wore a giant fisherman's hat, where I wore a giant floppy toque. Now, I have a very important question.
Yeah.
Do you have my toque? Because I'm concerned it's been lost.
No, I couldn't find it, so...
All right. Well, perhaps it's in my home somewhere. I'm feeling a little anxious about that, but let's move on from there. Marc, how do you feel that you did in this performance compared to mine?
Compared to yours?
Yeah.
I mean, I think due to the short amount of preparation time, the short rehearsal, like the turnaround was great. I feel like my physicality was fantastic. I was really embodying the character.
Yeah, my character.
People didn't have to sit through it too long. It was free. So ultimately, I think it maybe was, they were different performances.
Yeah, they were.
I think like people could make a case for either one.
You're right? Art is subjective. People can make a case for either one. Well, Marc, we're just about, it's officially closing night of the At Home Fringe Festival. It's been
quite a run.
Quite a run. It's been really tiring, right? We could not do this festival without our main sponsor, Wildcat Beer. Why drink one when you can drink all of them? So we want to thank Wildcat Beer. Of course, we want to congratulate the Montreal Canadiens for entering into the Stanley Cup final. Marc, it's now time to give out our one and only award. It is the Zest of the Fringe.
Yeah.
It's now time not only to bring, I guess, via satellite from Sweden, we've got Yoda and we've got Dimitri, who is our one and only jury member. Dimitri, what a night it's been at the first and only At Home Fringe Festival. Of course, we've got Yoda here, who I think Yoda is frozen.
Might be
frozen.
James, let me just say...
I'd like to point out that it looks like Marc has begun striking the stage.
I'm striking. I only have 15 minutes, I think.
I love that. Theater is an ongoing process. It's always fluid. It's always coming and going. So strike away, young artist. James, that got hot and heated. I don't know what that was between you two, but I kind of loved it. It very much was in line with what Fringe is. It's all about not taking away that competitiveness, but fire and raw emotion. There's no competitiveness in Fringe. Art is the winner. But with that being said, it's time to announce the winner of At Home with James. Announce the award, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
The Zest of the Fringe. So, Dimitri, take it away. Woo! Our artist already.
This was not easy. It's been an amazing festival, and we've seen it all, folks. But of course, there can only be one Zest of the Fest, and that goes to Mr. James McGee. And I'll tell you why. James McGee has been putting on one of the longest Fringe shows to date. What's the name of that show? At Home with James, of course. You're watching it right now. You want to talk about art? In a greatest drought theater has ever seen in the new millennium, who was the outlier, the black sheep, and the man to say no? It's a man called James McGee who went out and persevered and outlasted the rest with his online show, At Home with James. Congratulations, James McGee. You are the Zest of the Fest.
I can't believe it. This is not something that I was expecting, and certainly, you know, there's going to be people that call nepotism into question as Marc Rowland puts on his Team Canada t-shirt. I'm at a loss for words. This is something that has totally blindsided me. When we make art, we don't make art to be awarded for it. Certainly we make it to be recognized, but we do it for the audience, we do it for the people, we do it for the appreciators. So I have so many people to thank. My technicians, Dimitri, Andy, David. I want to thank my fellow nominees, Marc, just a great performance of my show. Jodaurgh, breathtaking. I frankly, I can't believe that I'm walking away with the Zest of the Fringe, but in so many ways, while many people might think it's wrong, it feels so right. Dimitri, look, I have to thank you for this.
It was an easy decision, and James, you walk away with the championship. What two amazing shows that we've seen tonight. Marc's 100% original script, Bonhomme Caramel, Blast from the Past. What an amazing. And Jodaurgh's slice of life piece. But at the end of the day, James, it's the heart that decides, and that one was easy for me. James, congratulations. You are the zestiest of the fest.
Well, thank you so much for winning the Zest of the Fest, which is probably the name that we should have come up with at the top of the hour. Becoming the Zest of the Fest is important for me. We just had 2 incredible nights, and before we wind things down, here is our programming announcement. Next week, we will be shifting schedules for just a brief period of time. Instead of our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday schedule, we will be adjusting to a Tuesday and Thursday schedule. Is it because the Montreal Canadiens play on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Some might say yes, and those who say yes would be correct. Who knows? Maybe we sprinkle in a little Saturday surprise action. Until then, we will see you not this Monday. We will see you on Tuesday, Thursday, maybe Saturday next week. Don't forget to set your calendars for that. Until then, I have to congratulate Jodaurgh. I have to congratulate Marc. Dimitri, thank you so much for your service in watching, respecting, and truly appreciating art. Until then, folks, that is our opening and closing night of the At Home Fringe Festival. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a true admirer of local theater. Don't forget to keep enjoying it when it comes back, whenever that is. Let's hope when it does, I will be sweeping the awards just as I always do. Thank you so much for watching. I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and of course, be well.